Hello everyone, this is Senrex from the Order 66 Hellions, and today I will be doing a roster review on Apollo, and I'm asking myself, is this one of the best rosters in the game? So first, let's go over the itinerary. Apollo's roster is a lot better than mine, so I really have no room to criticize. First, we're going to be going over just a general overview of this account. Second, I'm going to be talking about the strengths and the weaknesses, and even at a high level, this account does have a few weaknesses. Third, I'm going to be going over the Grand Arena Championship. Next, I'm going to be going over farming and where this account is headed. Fifth, I'm going to be talking about some characters and some teams that they will be working on. Sixth, I'll be going over some Omicrons. Seventh, I'll be talking about their mods and their Datacrons. And then eighth, instead of saying what I would do if I was Apollo, I'm going to be recommending things that you should do to make your roster more like his, as he has a very impressive roster. First and foremost, let's go over this account overview. 8.5 million galactic power with 4 galactic legends. The galactic legends are Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Master Kenobi, Rey, and Jabba the Hutt. All 4 of these galactic legends are amazing. So I would say congratulations to Apollo for not farming a single bad galactic legend. They have Executor Profundity, and they nearly have the Leviathan, as they're working on taking a few more characters up to Relic in order to get that ship, as it is a very exclusive and tough ship to get. As I said before, they are farming their Leviathan. They're in the Kyber 3 League, about 3,300. A 3.8 mod score. They have hella Datacrons, very good Datacron farming. That makes me extremely happy. And lastly, I was told that this account has about 2.5 active years of gameplay. So for a 2.5-year-old account, this has come very far. Let's talk about some strengths and weakness. The Galactic Legends this account has are all bangers. They have amazing Datacrons, an amazing depth of fleets. So many good fleets in this roster. Their Grand Arena score in Kyber 3 is getting them a lot of crystals, and every single Omicron that this account has is extremely solid and taken to relics. So if you're a person who's struggling, I would say that you always want to make sure that those Omicrons that you're applying are on relic characters so that you get the most bang for your buck. Apollo has 25 Omicrons, and all of them are extremely useful. Let's talk about weaknesses. Mods. The mod score of a 3.8 at this GP range is relatively low, although it's not bad whatsoever, so I'd say that this is a slight weakness. Second is the Fleet Arena average. They're averaging about 80th in Fleet Arena, which is losing them a lot of crystals. Now, it's important to note that Apollo's Fleet Arena shard is infinitely more competitive than any Fleet Arena shard I have ever seen in my entire life. There are about 50 Leviathans to 7 stars in this shard, and on an average night for an account, or for his account, he can fall down to past 100th place with a profundity on defense, which I think is absolutely unheard of. And then lastly, probably at their level, not having all the Galactic Legends unlocked is holding them back in Grand Arena, but this isn't really a weakness as much as it is just impossible for a lot of people to get all of these very exclusive characters. Let's talk about Gak. So Apollo, he's got a pretty busy personal life, which causes him to miss some Gaks and stagnate a little bit. As you can see here, over the last 30 days, he has netted about 30 points in Gak, which is not the best. So, as I said, they're missing some Gaks or they're getting demoralized. It looks like they're getting full cleared on a regular basis as their defensive structure is mainly positioned around their Jabba. Now, I would highly recommend that Apollo starts adopting my GAC strategy guide and putting a lot more on defense, as this alleviates the pressure of attacking in GAC, making it so that a person that has a busier personal life or a busier work life is able to win more often in their GACs. Next, let's talk about character farming. Where do you really go when you're at the top? This person is almost a Leviathan. I've shown here their Sith Empire. They've just got a couple more relic levels to get. And overall, they have 126 Gear 13 characters. About half of the characters in this game are not good whatsoever. So there's a few directions that this person could be heading. They could be heading to Lord Vader. They could be heading to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. They could be heading to Leia. Even Ewoks or just operation characters in general, because once you have this many Gear 13 units, it's kind of hard to pick a direction that isn't just go for a Galactic Legend. If I was in Apollo's shoes, I would definitely recommend Lord Vader, as at this point in a lot of people's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes careers, they're getting close to Reva. And once you have Reva, a Lord Vader lead and a Reva in that squad is a very, very, very effective lineup. So after they're done with Leviathan, maybe they'll go for Leia, just because she seems to be extremely accessible, or they'll go for Lord Vader to really beef up their Inquisitors team. Let's talk about mods and Datacrons. If I was in Apollo's shoes, I would definitely be farming mods a little bit more vigorously in order to improve my mod score. I've got shown here their statistics on their modding, which shows that they're doing quite well, but I would ensure that I'm doing my 350 crystal refreshes every day, as well as buying mods from the mod shop when I see them. On their Datacrons, I'd keep doing exactly what you're doing, as Apollo has a wealth of Datacrons that are serving him super, super, super well in his GAC and territory war experiences. You cannot go wrong with farming Datacrons. I'll have a guide out on how to do this effectively any day now. So what should you do to be more like Apollo? Now, there's a few things that I've noticed about Apollo's roster that makes it particularly good. First, you want to farm the useful characters. If you're a passionate player and you just want to farm the characters you like there was a guy in my old guild who had a Relic 8 Gar Saxon, do that. But if you want to be super competitive and get a really solid roster in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes really quickly, you shouldn't be taking characters to Relic that aren't absolutely necessary. So Apollo is farming useful characters 99% of the time. So don't Relic your Lobot for no reason. Second, finish your farm. Apollo has all of the characters that he needs at a high relic level. You don't see any characters in his roster that should be a high relic level that are a low relic level, or just aren't relic at all. You don't see any incomplete teams. There's no teams where, one of the 5 necessary characters isn't up to relic, or they're just lacking in certain upgrades and Omicrons and, Zetas that are holding the team back. So really focus in on your farms and make sure that you work them from start to finish to complete them, as opposed to just leaving a bunch of half-finished characters lying around in your roster. Finishing your farms when you start them will greatly benefit you in the long run, so no jumping around from character to character. Third, make sure to relic your Omicron tombs. Apollo's roster is an amazing example of what your roster should look like. Most, if not all, of his Omicron tunes are up to a high relic level, which gives him the utmost value for those Omicrons. So make sure that you relic your Omicron tunes. Next, you want to be patient, as this game is a marathon. Apollo's been playing for almost 3 years, and or 3 consistent years, if I'm aware. He's got some amazing, amazing characters that are totally, totally reasonable to get. So as long as you're patient and you don't get frustrated easily, you can definitely achieve 2 to 3 Galactic Legends every year, if you're efficient with your farming. Next, if you're like Apollo, you definitely should be competitive. He's a competitive player, and in order to really, really, really take your roster up and excel in the game modes, you want to be in a guild and hang out with people that have the same mindset as you. He's a very, very, very competitive player, just like myself. And his mindset is that he wants to achieve and obtain the best characters in the game in order to have the most competitive roster. I believe this is a really great mindset that you should have if you want to succeed and improve vastly in the game. So if you want a roster like Apollo's, you need to be competitive and take every single aspect of the game seriously. Apollo's roster has slightly weak mods for its level, but overall you can tell that he's got the Conquest characters, he's got the Galactic Legends, he's doing well in GAC, his ships are amazing, he's got his Inquisitors farmed, he's got a Starkiller, he's getting all of his Legendaries rounded out. Every aspect of the game Apollo is participating in. He's doing well in territory wars with the Omicrons, he's doing well in territory battles with the Inquisitors, he's doing well in GAC with the Galactic Legends. And he's farming characters for every aspect of the game so that he's a super well-rounded character. If you neglect certain aspects of the game, that's going to lead to lopsidednesses in your roster that are going to make you weaker when compared to the average player. So be like Apollo and make sure that you don't neglect any aspect of your game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this roster review here today. I'm doing them for free, so if you'd like to leave your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.gg below in the comments, I will be happy to do a roster review for you. Lastly, little guild plug, if you're tired of not getting any Reva shards, consider joining my guild, the Order 66